Good morning. I had intended to offer further comments earlier in a follow-up to my blog, Britannia Dead or Dying, Chapter 4. Unfortunately, I was delayed by the dreaded black screen of death afflicting my desktop. After some grunting and groaning, sackcloth and ashes, and a significant pain in the wallet, I now have a new hard drive fitted and reformatted. So here we are, ready to go. Britannia, Dead or Dying, Chapter 5. The EU has become a monster, and sad to say, can now be regarded as a cruel, fanatical, stupid institution, being driven by a manic desire for ever closer union by a handful of ordo-liberal reactionaries in the German financial ministry. The European Union establishment has been engaged in a political war with an ever-growing coalition of free marketeers, sovereignistas and anti-immigrant campaigners on the right of the political spectrum. After the harsh treatment of Greece these past 5 months, the European Union now finds itself fighting on a second political front, this time against the left, as one socialist party after another destroys itself in support of monetary union. Is it not very droll to observe that the left, those deluded acolytes of high taxation and high spending policies, have become the enforcers of an economic directive that has given rise to unprecedented levels of unemployment, unimagined by post-war social democratic governments, who once upon a time controlled their own currency and sovereign fiscal policies. The left has been obliged to find ways to justify youth jobless rates running at 42% in Italy, 49% in Spain and 50% in Greece. The left has been obliged to acquiesce to the financial slump over the past 6 years, and so-called sovereign states have been required to endorse the European Union fiscal construct that imposed a legal requirement on Eurozone states to cut public debt by 1.5% of gross domestic product in France, 2% in Spain, and 3.5% in Italy and Portugal. Such a stringent imposition can only lead to permanent depression, almost as severe as the 1930s. It is a doomsday commitment imposed by a monstrous EU. Why has this been allowed to happen? Why has the anti-democratic and unelected European Union been permitted to conduct European affairs in a manner that brings alarm and despondency to the people of Europe? It is because supine governments, in attempting an ever closer union, have not until now dared to question the sanctity of the European Monetary Union. The Dutch Labour Party is but a shadow of its former self. The Spanish Socialist Party has lost out to the Podemos movement, and support for France's Hollande has been cut to 24%. And the French working class are defecting to the Front National. Finally, events in Greece have focused the collective mind of the proletariat in observing the appalling and deliberately malicious ruination of Greece by the European Union and the European Central Bank in particular. The cruelty on display by Brussels has illuminated just how flawed a project the European Union really is. I believe we are now witnessing the beginning of the end of the EU.